Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is September 5th, 2022, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the euro breaks new yearly lows below 0.99 versus the US dollar for the first time in more than 2 decades. There is no major economic event scheduled for today, but today is a national holiday in the United States. It's Labor Day. The US markets will be closed and the future markets will be affected as well. So looking at the Forex symbols this morning, which the markets are open for, the euro and the British pound both breaking lower. Looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ traded lower as well from last Friday. And looking at commodities, gold and oil both bounce after breaking lower. Now looking at the stocks, Intel continues to break even lower. And lastly, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin dipping below 20K. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. Hoo-wee, look at that. This is the euro on a 1-hour chart, which we generally don't jump into, but I want to just highlight this. We've been in this range just above 99 for several times. We've tested it once, twice, 3 times, even 4 times, and finally on the last test, on the 5th time, it's finally broken lower. And you can see it's gone down all the way down to 98.81. Not a big deal, not that far off of its lows from before, but significant. Okay, psychologically speaking, it's a very important number. So keep that in mind that this can continue. We did bounce right off of it, about 20 pips. Not a big deal, but it is breaking lower. If you look at a daily chart, you can see the trend. The trend is still downwards. Now looking at the GBP USD, also look at this. We're looking at a weekly, remember. So a weekly chart, this takes us back to 2020 of February, March, when the pandemic initially, and we're trading right there, 114. This is the lowest the GBP has been in almost 2 years. So this is significant as well, the dollar being very strong here. Looking at the USD Japanese yen above that 140, and it's not giving up. Okay, we may have to make a new kind of graph here, because once it starts breaking even higher, it's going to take it even higher than that. So just keep in mind that this is happening. So Forex items are back on the plate. You can start trading Forex symbols a little bit more aggressively because there is follow through, there is character, and it's coming through. Now looking at commodities, first looking at gold, you can see we got this nice bounce. As we dip to 1700, just below it, at 1688, boom, took us up higher, and that's a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction. So we do have support at 1663, although psychologically somewhere in that, about the 1700 is a decent place for us to be in as well. Crude oil also dipping to $85 and then bouncing as well, and this has been really in a kind of like a sideways trading for a long time, as it's gone as far as 100 or close to 100 to $97 and between $85. So it's been in that range for quite some time. Now jumping into the US markets, we did trade lower last Friday on the Dow Jones to 31,400 as it's taken a debacle from our highs of 34,166 back in August. That was a tremendous run that we had in order to, kind of push us into that short squeeze that we got. Here looking at the NASDAQ, also trading at 12,112. We're back to where we were at the mid-July-ish time as we went into this session over the last month and a half. This has been really very, very important as well. Now looking at the stocks, Intel keeps on breaking lower. It did have a gap up, couldn't sustain it, and boom, broke to new lows, 31.13 as well. And you can see that the stocks are faltering as well. Looking at Facebook, it's back on its low, it's 160. If you look at Apple as well, trading at 155. If you look at Microsoft, even weaker, as it's gone down to 255. And you can see that pressure on the selling side. Now once these stocks break those lows of 247 or 250-ish level, they could continue going further lower as we're entering the fall session. September is a selling season, and so is October, so just keep that in mind as we're going into the next 2 months. Now lastly, looking at Bitcoin dipping as well, 19,743, but again, not doing much here, just really grinding it on a very tight, very tight squeeze over the past few days. I mean, this is a daily chart. We've been in a $400 to $500 range, and that's really like that's painful. I mean, this is as far as 20,430. and as far as low as 19,600, so it's like $1,000 range. I mean, you can make money in that range, but nevertheless, it's a really very, very, very choppy kind of market. So keep that in mind as well. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.